one of the things that they raised there was how when it comes to when it comes to Andy Yoba, for instance, after he had a 135 billion, Ifeanyi Uba, sorry, case, and as soon as he joined the APC, Adams Oshomole's voice re-echoed around Nigeria. Once he joined the APC, your sins are forgiven, and that became it because AMCON dropped the suit against him, and there are several other cases like that. But the judiciary is being tested in all of this. Do you think the Nigerian judiciary can come out of this political quagmire that they seem to find themselves in?
Do I think it's hard for me? It's a long call. In fact, when they say the judiciary in this Nigeria is the last hope of the common man, it's almost looking like the common man is in a hopeless situation, because the story of he who pays the piper, the tax is tone is holding sway. In fact, at some point, most people lost hope on whatever the judiciary had to say as regards the presidential election tribunal. I feel that, but it's important. It's important that judiciary pays specific interest in regaining the trust of the people. However, politics comes with its own bias, because depending on your bias, when you're looking at something that appears good or false, there are persons that will look at the judiciary, and the judiciary is the best thing to them since after sliced bread. Because
I thought you were going to say fried rice, but it's okay. As
given that it doesn't favor a lot of persons too, they're going to criticize, and in such cases, it's easy to place it on the side of individual bias. Just like if you listen to the statement of former Justice Mary Odili,
just a day before the announcement,
so she insinuated that that when people lose, they want to put forward to put the blame and all, and that is what people. But at then, when you see issues that are clear, and you see people struggling to knock it off with technicalities, you wonder where lies the whole entire integrity of a system. But then again, you cannot outrightly criticize them, because everybody can tell you, after Supreme Court, you take their appeal to God. When the judges sit on their seat and on that bench, they're the closest thing to God.
No, there's a call in this by Debo, which says they're calling on the judiciary to the CGN rather, to investigate. There's been a call for the NJC too to begin to investigate some of these judgments of the appeal courts and all of that, and even the tribunal courts, especially the Kano Plateau issue. But you see, this call to the CGN right now by the PDP to look into this and ascertain what is and what is not. The question then is, does the CGN, Ariola, have the capacity to do this? There are some statement that has come from the CGN's office recently that made Nigerians begin to wonder if he understands that he's the one everybody is looking up to. So, don't you think he has the capacity to do anything about these cases, or to even investigate his APC rep?
First off, the CGN is the head of
the judiciary,
an arm of government. However, the judiciary have the NJC, and the NJC is more like a regulating body. So while the CGN is the head of a part of an arm of government, he has his limitations. However, do not forget that the CGN is appointed by the executive, and so when you bring in somebody, there's a more likelihood that the person will listen to you, or at least bias will tilt towards your side. And if I'm the one that have fingered the processes to get the desired resolution, and then you call the CGN that I appointed to investigate what I did and expose me, that can sound possible on storybooks, but not in real life politics. Because first of all, the CGN is super grateful that he is there. And that's why even with the activities in Rivers State, for example, I now understand the importance of the position of the CGN, of the Chief Judge. CJB. So it's politics is difficult here, because a whole lot of things are dependent on who that pays the piper. And he is most likely detecting it too. So you can hardly get objective fact that is not corroded with bias, either from the part of the leadership of that arm of government or on the part of the populace. So it is a scary reality But then all we have to do is make an attempt, because there are times where you can have someone that is of very high ethical value, and he wouldn't want to flow with the tide. He feels that I was placed in this office by God, even though someone recommended me, but I have to do the best of my ability. Those that want to make a mark for themselves, just like what was that lady? Oti?
Professor Oti.
Yes, just like Professor Oti, she had millions of naira offered to her, but she wanted to make a reputation for herself, and she saved the day that day at the Abia State. So those are the kind of situations that we can encounter and hope for something different. And because of those kind of situations are a possibility, we keep trying. They'll keep making attempts. You can make the call for investigation, and you don't know, the person in charge of that investigation might be a very stubborn and strong
independent-minded person.
Exactly. So I agree with what they're saying. If there is a pattern to it, then investigate it. So for people to stay and brag that they have somebody there, it already defeats the whole idea of the neutrality of justice system.
Sure.
Because Lady Justice is supposed to be blind, her eyes are supposed to be covered with the scale and sword. But when it looks like Lady Justice hears and understands some voice, Madam, na me, and she say, oh, now you did there, okay, no problem, and she used the knife on this other person, compromise is there. And when there is a sense of compromise, the acceptability of those judgments are compromised in the long run. And even if it turns out that I lose, I'll feel that I didn't even stand any chance of winning. I wouldn't understand. But what I feel for the judges is that,
all right,
regardless of what they want to write, they want to give, they must put in efforts to write. So it's not even easy. If they want to make an announcement that is contrary or to suit a purpose, they still put in the same work as it would have taken if they were doing, in quote, the right thing. Have you read their judgment? It's more than an 80 leaves textbook. And imagine writing 80 leaves textbook and you're doing it for the wrong reason.